Hola, and welcome to Word to Your Mama Relatives. Relatives is a podcast within a podcast. Relatives explores the true story of how a first-generation Mexican girl, that's me, Ritzy, and a black girl, that's Nyysha, meet in South Bay, San Diego, and become relatives. We discuss black and brown unity, hip-hop, overcoming trauma, crazy movie-type moments, navigating this life, and so much more. Black and brown unity por vida. Relatives episodes come out once a month. Relly, what's the
back in
word?
action.
What's the word on the streets?
Yo, we're back. The word on the streets is funky town. I just learned that. Funky town. Because that is where I'm coming from. Funky Town, Texas. Yes.
That's what they call where you moved to?
Yes. So Fort Worth is called Funky Town
Oh.
because it's a really big deal if you say, oh, I live in Dallas, but you don't. Like, they're very territorial here. So
Right.
I just learned
It's like people that say they live in Detroit, but they don't really live in Detroit. They live like on the
Exactly.
outskirts.
Live in Dago, but I live in Temecula.
Yeah, that's not there at all,
Yes.
please.
Yes. So
Right.
it definitely has its own identity. But here we are. I
So
made it.
so you're Funky Town, but
Yep.
then Funky Town, and then the place that you live does that have another name?
They have
Like the
other
area?
towns within Funky Town. I don't know if it's within, I don't know if it's the Metroplex. It's a whole new
Right.
dynamic for me. So, you could be here, but right here, literally right here, could be another city, and then right here could be another city. So there's a
Right.
lot of fine lines, lots of fine lines.
So I don't even know when's the last time we had relatives. We've been on a 2-month hiatus. Usually I take a 1 month, but I've taken 2 months because it's been crazy because I've been traveling and doing a bunch of shit. So what I did do though is I was dropping episodes from back in the days so that we have a lot of new listeners so they can hear some dope people in the tribe, right? Some
Right.
dope conversations. So one of the ones that I made sure to drop that I haven't redropped is our very first relatives episode from
Oh, wow.
2020.
What? 4 years? That's crazy. That's
Yeah.
crazy. It doesn't even
Yeah.
seem like 4 years. It seems like maybe a year and a half. Like before.
I know. Because of COVID. So anyways, it's, there's a link in the profile. You can listen to our very first relatives and,
Yeah.
work your way up if you want. But yeah, so I've been dropping these, some old school ones from 2021, like that era. And so that's what's been happening this past 2 months, which is great. I've been getting great feedback, like, oh, that story or that person,
Oh,
So
wow.
that's been good. But
Okay.
people do miss the relatives, though. They do miss relatives.
Well, we back.
So we're back in full effect.
For sure.
We're back in full effect.
We're back.
People that have listened to the last ones before this one know that you moved. You did a big move.
Yes.
And you just said you're in Funky Town. So how is that going? How are you feeling? Does it feel like home? Are you still in transition?
Definitely still in transition. It feels great. It feels good. The best feeling of all is that I did it. I did it. Like, I set my mind to it and I did it. Like, it was a bold move. So
yeah.
Everyone who knows me, they know that I've been trying to move since like right before COVID. Then COVID shut it down. And a little after COVID, I tried to move. Then the economy shut it down. And so, being patient, waiting a little bit, I finally made it happen. And hey, I've been going full throttle ever since. So I've probably been here technically, about 3 good months. 3 months. But
That's
I already feel comfortable.
Yeah.
I'm already loving it. So much to do here. Work is great. I've been meeting lots of people, and hey, life is good. Life is good. If I could sit down for a minute, I've been on about 3 vacations.
I know. About to say, have you really been there 3 months?
I've been here,
really
but I haven't. Yes.
Maybe like 2 months because you've been on mad vacation.
Man, catching COVID again. Like, it's been a lot going on in this last 3 months. So, hey, I'm settled down. I'm going to bank out this new year, like the rest of the year for the new year, and I'm ready to roll. I'm about to rock it. So, yeah.
Well, I'm glad that it's working out, relative. Like, I'm really happy that, that you went, you scoped it out, you did your due diligence, you did the recon, and then you moved. It happened, and it's still feeling good. So I'm
and
hella
it does
excited.
feel like home. Like I can see me here in the future. It
Ah,
doesn't just feel like, oh, this is a stop. I felt Florida was a stop.
right.
And
From jump.
from the beginning, it just was not happening for me. And
Hunting gear,
it
it's a
didn't
stop.
it didn't fit my way of life. I don't know what way of life it is, but that wasn't it, you know. So I'm here full effect and big things to come. Big things to come.
I'm excited, Redley. So
Thank you, thank
excited.
you.
That's great.
Can't wait for you
I
to visit.
caught COVID. I caught COVID in July too. The Supernatural Bear caught it for his first time ever in life.
Mm.
The day before the 4th, on the 3rd. We had to cancel the plans.
That's crazy. The very first time I caught COVID was July, when it first came out, July 3rd.
I got to tell him.
Yes.
That it's the Nyysha. Yeah.
Very first.
So, and it was bad. Like, it was so bad. And then, so I was not sleeping and taking care of him and stuff. So then, of course, then I caught it like 3 days later. So we were out for the count. And then his Papa Bear, he didn't want to catch it. He had a show he had to do. So we were quarantined. Luckily, our house warrants to quarantine, right? We had bathrooms and the whole thing. And so it was like mass. It was like prison, like give us the food through the door and da 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 da. Luckily, he has yet to catch it.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Yes.
Yeah.
Keep it up. Very good.
So we'll see. But yeah, COVID is definitely running rampant. I have a friend right now who has COVID. It's going all around.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's been happening. And then on my tip, I've been traveling a grip.
Yeah, my girl's been busy. I've been watching, I'm rooting, cheering, backing you up. We all are. Like, we are so proud of you. You've been doing the most, girl. The
Thank
most.
you, Relly.
But we love it.
We love it.
This girl on the big
I've been
screen,
doing
she everywhere. I love it.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. I've been doing the most. For those who don't know, is like went to Consensus. It was big convention in Austin. Then boom, came home for a day or two. Then boom, went back out San Antonio. Wow. That was amazing because on this episode, I mean on this podcast, but especially on Relatives, we talk about Homeboy, my brother's father, and what a punk he was. And so he's from Texas. He's Tex-Mex. And he's from New Braunfels. So we used to go all the time as kids in New Braunfels, right? So we're always about these full circle moments.
Yes.
So when I was little, he used to say, why do you ask so many questions? Why do you talk so much? Why right? There's a long, crazy history of that. So on June 8th or June 9th, I forget which one, I was paid to go speak in San Antonio, which when we were little, compared to New Braunfels, was like, ooh, the big city in Texas, right? Compared. Right. So I was there to speak I was at the Hustle and Socialize conference that's put on by the amazing Cristina Olivares, who I've had here on the podcast. I was there to speak to Black and brown women entrepreneurs, because he was also a woman hater, the way he, how he did my mom. He didn't want women to be independent or anything. So full circle moment. I was there as a speaker to speak to Black and brown entrepreneurs, women, in San Antonio, in the 20 on of the Frost Bank Tower that overlooks that motherfucker. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, big shit. Like, for real, full circle moment. If you don't know, you don't know. That's amazing. How did it make you feel? I can imagine, but how did it make you feel? You were bawling.
Like, I was like, not bawling, but teary-eyed, because I was just like, what is this life? You know what I'm saying? It's like people try to keep you down.
For their security. Like, not even for what else, Yeah,
he's an insecure man. To not go into the details, but just know how much we hate this man. In another episode, Relly and I talked about when he dies, we want to go to his funeral to make sure he's dead.
We got to make sure.
In Texas.
We got to make sure. Don't pull up, we going.
So all I got to do now is just fly to your place. We drive up, pull up, make sure, look up in the side of the casket, and bone out.
You're good. Yes.
Be like this. Yep, you're dead.
Yeah.
Confirmed.
Check. Yeah, that's crazy. It's no words,
Yeah.
like no words.
No. I was just telling my therapist. I haven't seen my therapist since April. And I was telling her, and she's like, ooh, I'm getting chills. She's like, I just got chills. And I was like, yeah, it was crazy. So I did that. So many things happened, but this August have been crazy. I don't know if you know. Do you know who Gary Vee is, really?
Mm-mm.
So Gary Vee is he's a business guy, culture, like people in music look up to him, people in business, people in tech. He gets paid a grip to speak all over the place. He's amazing. I follow him. He cusses like I do. He's amazing. And he's about, following your dreams and being in business and using social media, but he's also about being kind. That's what I love about him
For
too. He's like,
sure.
you don't got to be a dick. You don't got to be a prick. You can make moves, help other people, blah, blah, blah. Right.
Right.
He's amazing. So, anyways, he has a conference every year. He was gonna do 3 consecutive years of this conference. It's called VCon. I've always wanted to go. Had friends go last year, saying it was amazing. So it's a conference of like culture, tech, business, all into one in Web3, which I'm in, right? Emerging tech. So, anyways, he has a big conference. Out of I don't know what the exact number is, really, but hundreds or thousands of people, applicants. I was one of 27 that were picked to speak.
Oh,
It was called
okay.
Voices of Econ, right?
Uh-huh.
So, anyways, it was crazy. August 3rd to mid-August, traveling, speaking at all these different places. Basically, since the end of May, just been nonstop, like traveling and speaking at these places. So to speak there, and then I got to meet him twice.
Oh, okay. Nice.
It's like crazy level people that we love
Yes.
Gary Vee. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy. And so it was in LA. It was awesome. And every year for the conference, at the end, he always has it with a concert. So this year was Sweetie and T-Pain to
I
close it
saw
out.
that.
You
Saw
know
that.
what I mean? It was
Yes.
great. Yeah, no. So I just been doing like bow, 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 bow. And then I spoke to some middle school kids in Maryland. That was
good.
dope. There were
Right.
black and brown kids.
How was
I
it?
was
Like,
crying after that.
I bet. Like, to the kids for sure. That's
To the
what it's all
kids.
about right there. Like, to the
To the
kids.
kids.
Were
And
they
then because my mentee put that thing together, and
okay?
she's getting her PhD at the University of Maryland. She put that thing together, and she had speakers every day. So I went to talk to them about emerging tech because they were learning emerging tech. And these black and brown kids were amazing, and they were already thinking in the way that I'm trying to advocate for us, as communities. And they were dope. And afterwards, I was crying because she said, oh, they loved you. They were clapping and going crazy. And this one little black girl was like, I wish I could see her and take a picture with her and hug her. And then at snacks, one of the boys said, oh, I know what a change maker is, and I could see how we can help our communities and stuff. And I was like, that's why you do that shit. Like, that's why
you do it for sure. For sure.
craziness. And
That's
then
man, yes.
I don't know when this will drop, right? Because these are the new episodes. So I'm just about to, or I just spoke at the UN again. I'm speaking at the UN again.
Like, you've been
Yes.
so busy. I don't even know what you're doing. I just see it when everyone else sees it. And I'm always like, what is flight? Like, yeah. Yeah.
I know I've just been doing on the stories, and I've been so busy that I haven't been posting about the situations. So
Right.
I'm like behind. So yeah, girl, that's what's been happening. It's amazing. Speaking again, last year we spoke in there. We went to New York, but this year it's virtual. We have so many women that are from, international. So I have to wake up at 4:30 in the morning to be ready by 5:30 in the morning and then do our thing. And I'm moderating panels, another group of amazing women from all around. So that's crazy. And then we have a book that's coming out. I'll let you know about the release. It's going to be in Phoenix, trying to make it in Phoenix.
Okay.
So, we got a place to stay in Phoenix.
We got somewhere to stay in Phoenix. We got a few places to stay in Phoenix for sure. For sure.
So that's happening. So I wrote a chapter in this book about, it's called Women in Web3 Inclusive Futures. And a few of us got chosen to contribute. And it's telling our story of how we got like to where we're at now.
Mm-hmm.
And the chapter is crazy because I had to work on it and figure out how I got here and read like when you have to sit and organize your story in a way. I was just like, that's why. I was like, oh, in another lifetime, if I would have been supported and had support and someone was advocating for me, I would be probably a scientist, a researcher. I probably have a
Hello.
PhD. Like I
Hello.
looked back and I was like, oh, I've always been into science.
Th-
Like I've always been into STEAM. I've always been into STEM, but it was like suppressed because society, right? Like nobody knew.
Right. It's
Like
like
nobody
therapy.
knew.
That's crazy.
It is. It's crazy. It's like re-examine your life and be like, oh, I see how it all the dots connect. And I was like, oh, yeah, nobody knew that when I got all those Girl Scout cookies, instead of getting the doll or whatever, I got a microscope. Like I hid it and I never told anybody because I was like, oh, that's nerd shit, right? Like we were like, Hood was like, no, that's nerd shit. But I
Right.
was like with my microscope, like I still have it. Like
Oh
I'm with
my
my
God.
microscope, like looking at shit, and I was just like so curious. Like I want to know more about the world. But when you're in survival mode,
All the
right?
time.
When you're in survival mode, you don't have time to think about that stuff. That's why I feel like I can relate to these kids. I tell them like when I was your age, I was just thinking about surviving. But I'm here to let you know that
There's more out there.
education is the way out. Like
Yes.
resources and education is the way out. So
Yes.
anyways, that's coming out. So we'll have links to that and I'll let you know, Relly, and see whoever, it's kind of like quick coming up quick, see who can make it out, especially if it's happening in Phoenix. But yeah, like that's what's been happening. Also, I'm just doing it every episode. We're going to seasons because this is a lot of fucking work. It's a lot of fucking work.
For
Oh,
sure.
I just came back from Chicago. I was at the DNC.
Oh yeah.
I
I was
forgot
gonna
about that
ask you
shit.
about that. I'm like, I felt like that was super big, but okay, I thought maybe it was gonna come out along the way. But hey, do you? I'm listening.
I forgot. I forgot.
I
Like
don't forget.
I'm so blessed. It's been so great. But yeah, Butterscotch Media. I'm a host of the Get Down, which is owned by Butterscotch Media. The owners, co-founders are Cleve Messidor and Ashlyn Messidor. They're black, uh, with from Haiti, right? Like they're
Patient.
Haitian Americans.
Yeah.
And so they've been awesome working with them. And so we have a show where I talk to leaders, policymakers about how it impacts black and Latina and indigenous folks that utilize emerging tech.
Mm-hmm.
So of course we had to be at Consensus. We had a pre-DNC event, so the day before. Then I was out there 4 days. We interviewed people. I went to the Latino Leaders Network DNC luncheon with all these like
Nice.
Congress and Senate folks. And
Yeah.
I just took a picture with Rosario Dawson and had a conversation about emerging tech with her, and she put me in touch with Jolise, who is the executive director of Tequeria. So her and I connected last week. Like
Wow.
it's been pretty amazing and dope of like what's been happening on this side, right? So we're at the DNC. I got to go the night where Michelle Obama spoke. Night. Let me tell you.
Say less. Say less.
So we walk in. I've never been to a DNC, right?
Okay.
It's different. It's a whole nother level because of what's happening and who's a candidate and stuff. We walked into the United Center, like it was a big thing. Like we had to go to the shuttle and then we had to go to security, and then our shuttle had to get like looked at, like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
crazy security. So we go in, and as soon we're supposed to be on this one level, they're like, sorry, booked. Like it's fat packed. Go to the next level. So we're like at the top of the top. As soon as we walk in, that's when they're doing the roll call. And the roll call is every state has representatives, and then you go the roll call and you say like, oh, this is how many votes we're giving you from the state delegate votes that say yes, Kamala's going to be the candidate or whatever. Before 2024, the roll call was like, in California, how do you da da da? And then someone will talk and be like, we're da 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 California, we're the da 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 da, and these are our votes, like that.
Yeah.
I get there when it's Georgia. And when Georgia comes out, they're like, the person on stage is like, in Georgia, how do you vote? The lights go, like,
What?
something happens. Nah, really. It is, because there's a DJ there, right?
Right.
So that's first and foremost the different thing. Like there's a DJ there. Like we're already
Yeah.
kicking off another level, but you're like playing the song that goes with the state, right? So it's interesting. And I was like, me and Ash were like, are they picking their own song? Is the DJ picking their song? Anyways, this is before we knew what the hell was happening.
Right.
We walk into the place and it's like, Georgia, how do you vote? Lights, da-da. They don't have a song, Nye. Little John comes out. That's when we walked in. That's when we're getting to our seats. When that happened, we were like, what is happening right now?
Oh, man.
I was like, what? So then that happens, and then everyone has songs, and then like New York, Spike Lee's there, and it's, the Jay-Z, da-da-da-da-da. Like, wow. It's like stars upon stars. And Texas, it was like Eva Longoria, and, and all this stuff like that. Minnesota, it's Prince playing. Like, of course it is, right? That's Tim Walz's state. So it's just like crazy. And then like Wisconsin, they all had cheese heads on because it's cheese. Yes. And it was live night. Like it was like they're so me and Ashlyn are talking about, we're like, how does that work? And we're like, oh, I did research and I see that it's based on the population of each state. So then you have some states are like, we give 14 votes. They're like, or like 10 votes because it's a small state. They don't have that many delegates, right?
Right.
So we're going, New York has, I don't know, 100 something. Save the best for last. California.
I didn't even say Cali, baby. Cali.
So we're in our seats, right? We're in our seats. And California comes. And we know it's California because it's Dr. Dre played.
I was saying, I already knew they were going to play some West Coast. Dun. I could just hear that shit. Oh my God.
The energy was already palpable, right? Because everyone's playing their jams. We're like, hell yeah. And then people are like saying stuff like what their state is known for. People are like, you think you're the best? Boo. Like it was fun. It was like this interactive thing. We're like, yeah, da, da. People were talking about like, different, there was like trans people for some states and telling their stories. And we're like, yeah, women's rights.
Right.
So then California happens and we're at the end. And then on the screen, they show on the big Jumbotron, they show who's on, but then on the screen behind, there's another screen and it shows the name of the state and how many delegates. I mean, how many votes, right? Delegate votes. It's like 400 and something. So they start playing Dr. Dre. Then they're playing like Kendrick. They not like
I knew they were gonna play Kendrick for sure.
Nine.
Hands down.
As soon as I heard, Dr. Dre, the beginning of that, and it's California thing, something possessed me. I stood up and dancing? I think I was walking. Like I don't even know what was happening. I know I was doing I don't know what was happening to me now.
It was the energy. It was the
energy. It was the spirit. And then Rocka's like, were you tossing up gangs? Like I probably was. I was probably tossing up FCW, Four Corners of the World from our old hood. I was like, I probably was. I don't even know what I did.
It happens. That is hilarious.
And I was like, CA all day. And I was like, hell yeah. I was just like doing all the calls, doing all the things. I was out of control. And then it started calming down. And it was that moment now where I was like, let me sit down. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I was like, I was not in a Cali zone. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, that's too funny. You're like, what am I doing?
I was like, okay, that's enough now. And I was like, holy shit. So that energy was like this. Like, if you go to like a super hype game or a super hype concert. So those that may or may not know, I come from the music industry. I was just at Coachella, guest level passes, backstage, super secret things that are like I've been to the best of the shit.
Right.
When Michelle Obama came out,
I know it was lit. I would have been screaming.
In my 50 years of life, in all of the festivals and concerts that I've been privy to, I've gone to fucking secret shows of my favorite people. I have never in my life felt this energy. Never.
That's insane.
It was like buzzing through all of us, like it was. She couldn't even speak because we were so crazed.
Wow.
I read her book. Do you know what I'm saying?
Did you read the book after or before you went?
No, I read it as soon as it came out.
Okay,
like
okay.
years whenever it came out.
Gotcha.
I listened to the book. She reads her own book, which is fantastic. Her book is phenomenal. You get the insight of how fucking hard it was to be Black couple in the White House, to
For
be
sure.
the wife. And you hear her story, her family, and how, so when her mom died a couple of years ago, then
Yeah.
I was just like, I know that, like, it's your mom, but what her mom meant for her and her family and what they went through, like, dude, like, I think a lot of people in there read her book. It was just like,
Wow.
and then she looked amazing. She looked
Always.
amazing.
Mostly always, yeah, always. Did she have braids or something, or this was
She
just a
had a
long,
long, like, she had a high ponytail with braids, and then it was like braid,
long?
like, and then of course she's like, yeah, I'm gonna show the fucking the guns of her arms. She had like
She's gonna show her
sleeveless.
shoulders for sure. She ain't working out for nothing. You know what I mean? She ain't working out for nothing.
She
But yeah.
looked amazing. And then
Ah,
she finished, and then she said what she said, and it wasn't like, we go high, we stay. No,
she
she
was
was like,
like,
let me get
"We
these
here
fools.
with it. We here."
Let me gather. And so she did that. And then Obama came. We're like, okay, whatever. We're like, oh, that's cool. But Michelle Obama,
Yeah, right, right, dude. If she even said she was gonna be a game over, game over,
rap, rap.
game over, for sure, for sure. But hey, here we are.
So yeah. So I mean, it was amazing. I found people that were Democrats for Free Palestine. I found people like that.
Mm.
I found people that were aligned with me, and that was my worry. I was like, I could
Oh,
see how you get hyped, and I could see how you're in the moment. You're just like, yeah, America, hell yeah. Like I could see
America.
that. I could see it almost happening to, like, I see the energy I see, but it's still eye on the prize. What I did love was that no matter what, people saw how enthusiastic everybody was, but they always reminded us all that it
Why
is
are we
still,
here?
unfortunately, a super close race to
Yes,
register to vote, to remember on the local level, because these fools, there's a group called Moms of Liberty that are Trumpsters, they're infiltrating our school systems, and they're masking their shit a little bit, of how
yes.
they get in. And this is what I learned when I was in DNC on a side event. And
Wow.
so they're like, if they're more civically engaged than you are, you're doing it wrong. You have to keep it's not just the presidential race, it's local government, because that's how they get to these levels. They
Right. They
infiltrate the
start
school,
and they
city
go up.
council, boom, 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 Congress. Like, they're your representatives. And I
Right.
don't think people understand that, but I think now that they understand the stakes, right?
And where
So
you
me
gotta
and my
start, you gotta go
homegirls,
those small elections, which are really the huge elections, and get
yeah,
to this
because
election.
it starts
Yeah,
in the home, right? It starts
yeah.
in the home. It starts in the home. It starts in the local government. It starts in the local level, local, city, county, state, like nationwide, right?
Right,
So me and my homegirls, Tia Ti, put together the postcard bitches. We've been doing postcards. I just did 10 for Florida. There's a potential to change some things in your old state. And
right,
we're going to try to do that in Texas. We're going to try to do that. Like, what can we do? Because it sets the people in place now, but also for long term. Like, we're thinking long game.
right. As we
So
should be thinking.
as we always should be. And we
Yeah,
shouldn't just wait for these major elections. Like, there's elections happening in your home city, in your home state, not just during these big elections. And you
right.
have to keep your eye on that, because that impacts you, impacts your money, impacts your family. So, anyways,
All
yeah.
that.
So
That's
that it's a lot of stuff, but that's the gist of it. That's the gist of it.
right.
And that was my first time in Chicago. Beautiful city. Loved it. We walked to a lot of, it was the best weather, and we walked to a lot of side events, because we're like, oh, it's 18-minute walk. Okay, let's
Well,
walk it.
what
And I was
about
like,
the
oh, it's
food? Because
gorgeous.
Chicago's known for food. So did you eat a lot of good food?
Yes.
Yeah,
I've never had deep dish pizza. Not my thing. Not my thing.
a
It's
lot
like
of cheese, a lot of stuff we don't
it's the
eat.
real thick. Like, you got to eat it with fork and knife. Like, it's
Right,
not a pizza.
right.
You
It's a
know, it's like
meal.
a
It's a meal.
Ti said, I think deep dish pizza is a casserole. She's like, fight me. And I was like, no, I agree. I was like, she was like putting it in the chat, and I was like, no, 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 I agree.
I'm
It's
with
not
you
my
on that
thing.
one. Yes, casserole, Italian casserole. Okay.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, but I was asking because we had it from a place that locals like, and when they came to our event, because we had deep dish, and I was like, but do you guys also do flat, like regular pizza? She's like, oh, no, we also do that too, but this is like
Okay.
what we're known for. And I was like, okay.
What
Went
else?
to Chinatown, because you always got to go to the
Gotta always
Chinatown.
go to Chinatown. Any city you go to, for sure.
We went to this place called Joy Lee or something like that. And it was one-stop shop night. So it was just like any Asian, like you can get dishes from all over. So we
Mhm.
had like Korean short ribs, and we had like we just had a smorgasbord.
Yes.
And I was like, yes. It was
Way.
deluge.
I bet.
And then at the Latino luncheon, it was, like a proper with waiters and stuff. I don't know what it was like, whatever. But yeah.
Chicken and veggies. Mm.
And yeah, and I had I forgot what I had. But yeah, it was just like a whirlwind. But anyways, it was great.
Right. This is kind of like pivoting a little bit. You were about to start saying something about doing something monthly versus all the time. Were you talking about the episodes, or you started, but
I'm gonna do seasons.
Seasons.
It's gonna be, so Word to Your Mom is gonna be seasonal. So I'm gonna do like, I'm debating. This will be starting next year. I'm gonna go to season, so it's gonna be like a 6 to 12 episode season, right? So those will be new episodes, and then we take a break, and then I'll put in the old episodes, and then once in a blue moon I'll do a little quick like, hey, this is happening, da 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 da. And then we're going to a new season. We'll have new episodes. So that way it gives me a break, because I'm hosting this other show, which is fantastic. Clevin and Ashlyn are amazing. We recorded 2 episodes there at a Black-owned studio. Those are on YouTube. I'll have linked to those. And it was like Danny said something like, are you the new Christina? Like, because it was like a talk show, like on the couch and stuff. I was dying. Because usually we do them like this, but since we're in person, it was awesome to do them in person. So I'm just busy with so many different things that I don't want to end it, but I want to make sure that I do a good job, because for this show in particular, I have to do everything. For the other shows, I just show up, which is great.
Gotcha.
Because this one I got to edit, it's so much stuff that people don't even understand.
Right.
But also on that tip though, what I've been doing is I have clients that have, I've produced their shows, like from beginning, their name and how to get it together, podcast. And so they hire me as a consultant, and then I help them, because I'm part of the podcast. I'm part of the Podcast Academy. So yeah, so I can help people do that. So you can hire me to do that. So that's a thing.
There's so many things. That's insane. So many things out there. Like when people are like, oh, I don't have a job. I don't have it. Hey, there's lots of things to do.
Yeah. Lots of things. And I can help you with all of that. So yeah, so that's basically what, what's been happening. I think this episode is just kind of like a recap, just catching up, making sure we're good. And then we can get into
our childhood with some stories.
Yeah, and
some memories.
I took the Supernatural Bear to Comic-Con again. This is the second year. And because I was at Consensus in Texas, I met the digital lead of McFarlane Comics and Toys. And so those that are listening that know what that is, you guys know how big that is. And he was like, oh yeah, if you're going to be at Comic-Con, let me know. We have this private party. Say less. So the Supernatural Bear and I went. Did I say his name earlier right now?
No.
Okay. So we went to that. It was amazing, exclusive. It was on the water. We got to meet Todd McFarlane, and I have it all on video, and I got to tell him how much it meant to me. The Supernatural Bear got to tell him how much his stuff means to him.
Cool.
And it was all like catered food, donuts, games. It was dope. It was hella dope. And then we went to Comic-Con preview night, and then we came home, and
it was a day. It was
great.
Yes.
It was great.
But
and
how
all that
cool
to
is that for him, like his age, being able to do all that? Like there's people striving to do all that, and for him to do all that,
yeah. They were like, your mom is cool, and I was like, yeah, he doesn't know how cool his mom is.
They don't know yet. They don't know.
But the reason why I brought it up is because I knew it was going to be hectic. So we parked at Old Town, and then we took the trolley to downtown. We had to take it to the main depot, Santa Fe Depot, and then the party was around the corner from there. And then from there we had like an hour or two in between before Comic-Con preview night started. So we went to a Chipotle that was around the corner down the street from the front of Horton Plaza. So the reason why I'm bringing it up is because I got to tell him, I was like,
Stomping grounds.
yeah, I was like, literally, I would come after high school. It would be a long ass trolley ride. I'd come after high school by myself and walk around downtown and be like, one day I'm going to leave this awful town and I'm going to go to New York. And he was like, yeah. He's like, yeah. And you went to New York so many times and your face was on Times Square. And I was like,
okay.
I was like, I know.
That's
I know.
crazy. Yeah. Yeah. And it's just changed so much, like Horton Plaza, which doesn't exist, but
right,
just to be down there feeling the feels, like every time I go home, same type of situation. It's like, oh, like
now taking the trolley from Old Town,
oh, so different, so different.
And I was showing him, we're going through Little Italy and all those dope ass places. I was like telling him, I was like, all that wasn't there, mijo.
Never there.
All that was not there.
Crazy. I know, it looks so different. It's insane. Like I don't even know the city anymore. It's sad, but
it's crazy. So yeah, so we just, we did all that and it was just amazing. Another full circle moment. I was just like, yeah, I used to dream about the things that, and some of the things I never dreamt of
are happening or
just happen. So anyways, all that to say, Nye, is I feel like we're here. We're over half a century old. Ooh. Where we've come from, what we've done. I'm proud of us.
Me too. I was gonna say ditto, but that sounded so cliche. But yes, I'm proud of us too. I'm proud of you. I mean, I'm proud of myself, but
I'm proud of us together. We're breaking cycles. We're making moves. We're doing the shit we want to do. Like
now that
we've been wanting to do this for a long time, Redley.
Yes. And here we are.
You made it happen. Like there was a lot of obstacles. The world was like, nah, economy was like, nah. And you made it happen. And you look great. You're happy. You're glowing. I can't wait to visit you and see your place.
Yes. I can't wait for you, kid, family, everybody. Get here. So much to do. I can't wait to plan it out. And it's going to be a time. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, like, I just wanted to acknowledge, like, a lot of introspective stuff, a lot of thinking of our childhood, my childhood, your childhood, our childhood collectively.
Yeah.
And just being like, oh shit, we've gone through some shit, but we've come out the other side.
We on top. Healthy, family healthy. Listen.
That's the gift. That's the gift, Redley.
That's the gift. We just going up from here. We going up. I'm ready. I stay ready. I do. I stay ready. I'm ready to do whatever, be wherever, level up every day.
And I don't co-sign him, but I will say this. In the words of T.I., big things popping, little things stopping.
Gotta play the song. For sure. And here we are. Here we are.
50 is not the end of life. It's not the end of life. It's the beginning of a new chapters. It's the beginning of new chapters.
It definitely is.
You're like 50 who? 50
we got another good 50 to go. You know what I'm saying? Another 50
At least a good 20, 30. At least a good 20, 30.
I'm stretching it out. I'm stretching it out just to say 50. But yes, here we are. But good shit. And I'm proud of, like you said, I'm proud of us, proud of you, proud of me.
Right.
Proud of
proud of we.
Children, our friends. Like our circle is it. It definitely is. So
yeah. I'm proud of you too, Relly. Like I'm super excited and happy, and I can't wait to see you in person again at your place in your new spot.
If not before.
Take the tour of the new town. Go to Funky Town.
Come on to Funky Town. We got you.
So, all right then, Relly.
We're going to sign off. And happy to be back, guys. So stay tuned.
Right.
We coming.
Word to Your Mama is owned and produced by Ritzy P. Intro beat produced by Nico Beats. For partnership inquiries and contact info, check out wordtoyourmama.com. And as always, Word to Your Mama is brought to you by ritzyperiwinkle.com. And now, introducing
the Supernatural Bear Corner.
Supernatural Bear. Burp.